When customers don't pay you on time, it's either your fault or it's their fault for not having the cash. You have to be able to distinguish between the two so that you can stay focused on how do we manage this. We want to stop this from happening over and over again. I think that companies look at accounts receivable on the balance sheet and think it's like a building. It just manages itself. You do a little bit of maintenance and it just keeps on turning into cash. It's just not the way it works. If we just billed and got paid every single time on time, there wouldn't be a need for TCD or any credit people. The reality is it has to be actively managed with thousands of small little processes that work really well together with automation in order to make sure that that invoice turns into cash for the biller. I would say that they don't look at the customer needs, especially in the mid-markets that we work in, companies anywhere from 100 million to 2 billion. They sell usually to either a group of really small, lots of really small customers, or to a combination of small businesses and very large businesses. And when you sell to a large company, they dictate the terms. You don't tell them, here's how you pay my invoice. You have to go on a portal and look at what their terms are, how they're paying you, and it becomes a real challenge for companies to try to figure out how to do that for thousands or hundreds of thousands of invoices. There's a lot of turbulence in the market right now in terms of the unknown, what is happening, what will be happening in the future. So companies, first of all, have to look at where their risks are. What companies might not be around in the current state a year from now. So they first need to gather what those risks look like. Then they should look to their peers. What are the best-in-class companies doing out there? And maybe look to a group like the Hackett Group that will post, here is the best possible DSO, that means days sales outstanding, that you should be able to turn these receivables into cash. And when they look out, they can see how they perform compared to the competitors in the industry to say, what do we need to do better? Most of the time, we start with clients by doing what we call a study. The accounts receivable study looks at three things. We look at the team to see, do they fit with the asset? We study the automation. Is it enough? Does it match with what these types of customers need for automation? And we look at the processes. Do they make sense? Do they actually help clear the receivable? Are there gaps in the process? So we do a study over a 3-day period, generally on site, and we evaluate the entire management of the asset, and that helps our clients understand what's going well and what's not going so well. TCD looks at root cause. We don't just come in and clean up the mess, although that is part of our service. We want to stop this from happening over and over again. When customers don't pay you on time, it's either your fault for not meeting their billing requirements, giving them the information that they need, or it's their fault for not having the cash in order to pay the bills on time. You have to be able to distinguish between the two so that you can stay focused on how do we manage this and what do we do to prevent it. And TCD is about getting the cash in the door first and foremost, and then moving on to how do we make sure this doesn't keep happening over and over again.